You just see his head over the top of the fence.
Better.
Oh, look, we're live streaming and
Hi,
stuff.
Sandy.
Hi. Hi, Ginger.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy
Good
Easter,
morning this
everybody.
morning. Oh, look, it's half past.
Here's Reverend Bill with your God Call.
Things are going along just like always, and then suddenly something happens. Maybe it's something amazing and wonderful and joyous and uplifting. Maybe it's something that seems like a tragedy or a catastrophe. Something happens, and it changes the experience of life that we've been having. And that's perfectly normal. That's the way life unfolds. Things are going to change. So our opportunity is to set the intention to make an invitation for that change to be something wonderful and joyous and uplifting.
The presence is here. The presence is here. Light and spirit prevail on each face. The presence is here. Amen. The presence is here. And I will meet you in grace. The presence is here. The presence is here. Light and spirit prevail on each face. Presence is here. Amen. The presence is here. And I will meet you in grace.
Thank you, Ginger. Wonderful, the Marcy Baruch song. So wonderful, wonderful to have you here. Wonderful, happy Easter to everybody. Happy Resurrection Day. We don't specifically celebrate Easter as Easter, but we can certainly take a metaphysical note from it, which is what we're going to be doing. This also happens to be, if you have not been paying attention, the fifth Sunday of the month. And on months that have a fifth Sunday, we have a special Fifth Sunday Healing Celebration. So we're going to be doing that today and taking advantage of the fact that it coincides with Resurrection Day. And we're going to be able to set an intention to invite in an experience of healing, whatever that means for us, and light a candle for that. So if you have a candle nearby, you'll be able to light it in probably sometime in the next half hour or so. If you do not have a candle and don't want to go foraging for one, I have some candles here, so we will be able to light virtual healing candles for you this morning. Oh, and by the way, good morning, New Thought Philadelphia. It is wonderful to have you guys here. It's wonderful to be on Zoom because we have that opportunity to connect with people who are all over. Ginger has not been on Zoom in long enough that she forgot completely how to do it, or her equipment did. But it's an opportunity for freshness and rebirth. So it is all the way around. You know the rules on Zoom. Keep yourself muted except when we're going to be sharing or making a racket like this. Go ahead and unmute so that you can repeat after me. I open myself to love.
I open myself to love.
I open myself to joy.
I open myself to joy.
I open myself to healing.
I open myself to healing.
Healing, which is the revealing of the truth.
Healing is the revealing
Of the truth.
And so it is.
So it is.
Okay, mute one more time and I'll give you the rundown. The New Thought Philadelphia is an open, loving community of spiritual adventurers, welcoming each person to experience their divine nature in an empowering space of unconditional love. Whatever path you've been on, whatever brought you to our Zoom today, wherever you're heading next, we have been expecting you, and welcome home. Our beliefs are pretty simple. We believe there's one power, love, intelligence, or force that creates everything, including each of us, and that we're each using that same power, love, intelligence, or force to create our lives according to our beliefs. The way we like to say it, your new life begins with a new thought. If you have an extra electronic device that might distract you sometime in the next hour or so, go ahead and turn that off, put it on mute, put it in the other room, give it to the cat, whatever it is that you're going to do, so that we can turn ourselves inward and focus on our connection here. I'm Bill Marchiony, the spiritual director at New Thought Philadelphia. Our music today is by the amazingly talented practitioner student Ginger Coyle. Yeah, she's making her way through the practitioner studies. And the Practitioner Core is helping us out with the healing celebration today. Breen Rourke and Joe Catanzaro and Carolyn Nixon are all going to be participating in this. Jesus is holding the wheel, and Joe is going to open us with a practical prayer, which is the way we like to start everything.
Good morning. I finally got it unmuted. So take a breath and know with me that there is one source, one power. It is love, it is wisdom. It flows through each and every one of us, allowing us to express itself through everything that we do. Today, we come together and we celebrate renewal, resurrection, revelation, regeneration. And we're all about rising above the mundane, the mind, the ego, and allowing the truth, our spirits, that divine connection that we share with Source to come through in a brighter and greater way. For all of the good that we create here today through the songs and the music and the revelations and the inspirations and that reconnection with that one source and the truth of who we are. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everyone here, for everything we bring and everything we share. So I claim all this good. I allow it and I accept it. And I'll release my word to the law that always says yes. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Joe. So prayer works. We know it, we do it, we love it. And now we want to hear about it. We want to hear how prayer is working in your life with this bit of a celebration we call Prayer Works Stories. So if you got a story about how prayer is working, go ahead and you can wave your hand. You can click the raise your hand button in Zoom. I know that I've got one, but who else has one? Michelle.
So I just wanted to say that I've been praying and meditating for peace and harmony at my work lately, just like not necessarily even with me, but just like with just the overall atmosphere at my new job. And it worked. It was weird. I thought about it, I prayed about it, and it was like the next day it was like almost a total 360 with everybody, and it was just amazing. So very grateful
Nice.
to see that and just be a part of it.
Thank you. It's weird. It just works. That's beautiful. Thank you. Sarah.
I have been like an ongoing practical prayer of building community and building friendship, and I found through social media a group. It's called Dance Medicine Philly, and they were having an event on Friday night, and I like leaned on my existing community and I invited like my friends that I have now to see if they would come with me, and I received silence in response. So I did a practical prayer and I went solo dolo to a completely brand new environment. And because it was a sober event, also not like no drinking, no drugs, I drove, which I normally don't drive on Friday nights. Like you take an Uber or because it's a different kind of vibe. And I was able to like push through having asked for spirits like help and guidance, like my pitter-pattering, really very nervous heart. And I made a couple of friends and they invited me to come to the camp out, which is happening in May. And then even though I will admit I did leave early, sometimes you have to go. I couldn't stay for the whole thing. But then because I had such a good time and like opening my heart and being open to it Friday night, I got invited to go to this like small speakeasy esque reggae concert on Saturday night. And then because I had such a great time Friday, it almost allowed Saturday to blossom even better. So it was like this 15 people or less, very intimate gathering where everyone was like seated in their chairs, and then eventually we turned it into like a dance hall. So like it was just so cool to see the trajectory of putting yourself out there, asking spirit to support you, listening to yourself when you know it's time, and then not having that burnout so that good that you planted in yourself could then be seen the next day or whenever the time amount is. But it was really cool. So yes, thank you.
Nice. Thank you. Little reggae party. That's awesome. So I've got one quick one. Jay mentioned last evening, we went into town to the Walnut to see beautiful Carole King story. It was really nice. Great music. I didn't know how much stuff she and her husband had written, like some incredible hits in the 60s. And it was a really nice time. It started raining a little bit as we were walking to the theater. Then afterwards, it was raining to the walk to the car, and it picked up a little bit driving home on the Schuylkill Expressway. It's raining, and I said to Jane, it's raining. I said, but it doesn't have to be raining when I walk the dogs. I had to walk dogs when we get home. And she said, yeah, do a practical prayer. And I was like, yeah. And in my mind, I thought, this is going to be a prayer work story tomorrow. And that was the prayer. The prayer was, this is going to be a prayer work story tomorrow. Got home, and it wasn't raining when I walked the dogs. And then it rained again later. That's all I know. So prayer works for work, for connections, for not getting rained on while you walk your dogs. Give it a whirl. And if you're not sure what you're doing, check out one of the practitioners. Bless you. What's next? Is it announcements now? Yes.
Yes, announcements. If you've got a kazoo, unmute, and we will herald in the announcements, which will be done by Jane.
Good morning. Our monthly Thursday. Oh, I'm sorry. I got a little ahead of myself. This reborn information is on our website at newthoughtphilly.org and in our weekly e-newsletter. Please sign up on the website so we can keep in touch. Our monthly Thursday workshop series debuts on April 4th at 7:15 p.m. with our friend Joe Mitchell. He'll share some techniques to elevate your spiritual practice and help reduce stress with techniques he's learned as both a defense attorney and a lifelong meditator. Hybrid on Zoom and on site at Exhale in Narberth. We host 15-minute meditations on Zoom twice every day. If you haven't taken part lately, Zoom in this week. They're inspiring, fun, and quick. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings this week are also on Insight Timer Live. Our free screening of Angels and Saints is next Sunday at 4 p.m. at Falzer. And Hybrid on Zoom. It's an award-winning Philly-made documentary about sex, gender, and religion, what they have in common, and why they're so hard to talk about. It will be followed by a discussion with the producer and creator.
I just want to jump in and say that this is a free event. It's at Falzer. It's also online. Go ahead and register to get a ticket because they're expecting that space is going to fill up, and that's going to be quite an event. Go ahead, Jane.
Episode 145 of Reverend Bill's Practical Prayer Podcast is Sin. Listen wherever you get your podcasts. You can also get a peek behind the scenes in the live recording session on Monday at 1 p.m. on New Thought Media Network. The personal practitioner class that begins in the fall will boost your spiritual practice to the next level. Contact Reverend Bill to see what you need to do to be ready. There is no obligation to continue to professional training in year 2. Follow, subscribe, like, and share our social media on Instagram, Facebook, Insight Timer, and YouTube. And join the 1,768 spiritual adventurers in our group on meetup.com. The Power of 8 Intention Circle meets on Zoom every Monday at 6:30. All are invited to join us tomorrow for this powerful group spiritual practice. We are always grateful for your financial support. You can make a tax-deductible donation by Zelle, Cash App, check, PayPal, Venmo, credit, or debit card. Thank you to the team that makes our celebrations work and has fun doing it. To join the joy, contact Sandy. Next Sunday is online with Leadership 3.0. Guest speaker Dr. Michelle Whittington returns with more of her story of her trip to India for the Gandhi 3.0 Leadership Retreat. Live original music by the much beloved Ginger Coyle. The practitioners are available for professional sessions by appointment. After the celebration, Joe is available for a quick miracle in a minute prayer. We'll leave the Zoom meeting open after the celebration for casual conversation.
Thank you, Jane. And I don't think Ginger's coming back next week. No, Jamie Lula next week. There was a typo in the announcements. Not that we wouldn't mind having Ginger back again, because it's always kind of wonderful. So I'm looking around our Zoom, and I'm seeing that everybody is already a friend. So there are no new visitors to welcome, but that means that there are welcome opportunities for each of us. So go ahead and open your heart and rub your hands together and feel the warmth, feel the love. Bring that up and share it. Let that flow out to the group around us. We are the bright lights of God's love. I am so grateful for the wonderful way that that light is shining, that love is flowing, and it is appearing as each of us individualized now. So it is. Ginger's going to do another song for us. And as she does, go ahead and, as you're comfortable, look through the Zoom and make eye contact with the people we're in community with, and recognize that those eyes are the eyes of God, as are yours.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you, oh, thank you. I'm so grateful, ooh, so grateful. Thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful, ooh, so grateful. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day.
Thank Thank you, Ginger. Thank you, everybody. So we're going to light the flames of faith. Dina is going to lead us in that. And as we're doing this, in addition to the usual respect for the flames in each of those religions, note that sometimes there's a special occasion that happens on one of them. And in fact, we are on Easter Sunday now, and we are also in the midst of Ramadan. So open yourself to new possibilities. Dina?
We perform the ceremony to acknowledge that all people in all faiths come from the one power, love, intelligence, which we call spirit or God. We honor the richness that comes from our shared diversity and bless the interwoven energy of the divine feminine and masculine. We light the first candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the earth-based traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. As we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone or any place you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
Blessed be. And yes, that was the sound of a grand dog with hay fever in the background there for a second. The reading today comes from 365 Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes, and that's going to be shared by Hannah.
Divine guidance. We believe that the mind of God governs all things. We believe that God's intelligence in the midst of us is governing and guiding, counseling and advising, causing us to know what to do under every circumstance and at all times, if we will but trust it. Therefore, every seeming problem has a right solution, and we may turn to the infinite knower for the answer. In our human ignorance, we often make unwise decisions, but there is nothing that God cannot set right if we permit him to do so. If we will but take our personal problem to a high place in our consciousness, it will disappear as the answer to it takes its place. This is the way a problem is solved. We should know that there is nothing in us that can keep this from happening. There is no thought of doubt or limitation. We should feel that the answer is established in our consciousness and will make itself known to our mind right now in our present experience. This can be done only as we let go of the problem as a problem and definitely expect and accept its answer. Since the whole secret of divine guidance lies in the ability to accept it, today I affirm that I do accept it. I do believe that the Spirit goes before and prepares the way. I do know that every thought and act is governed and guided by a superior intelligence. There is something in me that knows what to do. It not only knows what to do, it impels me to act upon what it knows. This very acceptance flows forth into action through me. Always there is an inner, quiet, persistent confidence, a non-resistant but complete acceptance, an inward flowing with the stream of life, knowing that it carries me safely and surely to my destination and to the accomplishment of every good purpose. This is divine guidance, and I surrender to it. And the Lord shall guide thee continually. Isaiah 58:11.
comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles returning to the faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Sun, 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 here it comes. 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 Little darling, I feel that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes.
Beautiful, Ginger. Thank you. Thank you so much. As I mentioned previously, it's fifth Sunday of the month, so it's a special fifth Sunday healing celebration for us. And we can't emphasize enough that healing is not fixing broken stuff. It's not about correcting an error. Healing is the revealing of the truth. I'll give you a quick example that if there's somebody who's feeling burned out and got way too much on their list of things to do, all they want is some quiet and solitude. And healing for them is getting to that place of harmony and balance and quiet and peace. And somebody else who's having the experience of loneliness, of not having enough people to connect with, about having that experience of lack in their life, they would like the healing to be exactly the opposite. So the healing isn't in the experience, the healing is in the way that that balance and harmony fits together for us. And Carolyn's going to talk a little bit about her perspectives on that from a couple of different roles that she's had as a healer. Carolyn?
Thank you. And I'm going to follow our beloved Reverend Bill's example, and I'm going to begin with speaking from my experience. And many of you may or may not know that I spent the majority of my working life as a psychiatric nurse. And one of the things I noticed was there were some remarkable similarities between the people that I encountered in my spiritual center and also in my work setting. And first of all, these were very, very intelligent people. They were free thinkers, creative, very intuitive, very sensitive, and none of them either had the desire or did fit into that mold, which comes along with what Don Miguel Ruiz refers to as living the dream of the planet or domestication. And so I'm going to begin just talking about knowing who we are, who we really are. And first of all, none of us, no one of us is any more divine, gifted, talented, or whatever than any other. And we are all the creations of this one, whatever name we wish to call it. And we were created with love, in original innocence, pristine, pure, perfect, whole, and abilities and gifts to share with all life, which we are one with. And that's who we are. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how we got to the issue of healing became something for us. And what I'm going to use for that is this process Don Miguel Ruiz talks about so much about domestication. And it's also referred to as living the dream of the planet or the world. And that happens from the moment you're born. And it's just your interactions with the outer world. It begins with parents and siblings. Well, originally it begins with like you're in the delivery room and you've got nurses wiping stuff all over your body and doing this and putting under your healing lamp or do whatever they're doing. So it begins from the moment you're born. And you're interacting with the parents, and like you know what you learn, I think, and this is the point where you learn how to live life from the outside in rather than the inside out, as Michael Singer teaches us. So you learn, well, you can manipulate, you can get punishments or rewards from your behaviors or whatever, or kind of get what you want. So that's our first, when we're interacting with that. And that interaction, it moves from parents, we deal with religious institutions, we go to school. We are part of a neighborhood, a community, a culture, and society at large. And so with all of those interactions, the basic beliefs, the mores, the thou shalt not, the shalts, and all of that, and that gets impressed upon like these little sweet little innocent beings that do not have the capacity to even understand what is being impressed upon them, but they still take it in. And so and what what Don Miguel Ruiz says, he says, this process itself, this process of domestication obscures our true nature. And that brings me to a story that I can remember hearing quite a while ago, and you probably most of you may have heard this before. And this is about like a 3 or 4 year old little boy who just got a new baby sister, and several times a day he'd come into her room and just come up to her crib and whisper in her ear. And his mother came in one day because she was curious about what he was saying to his sister. And he was just simply asking her a question. And he was asking her, please tell me what it is like to be so close to God. It has been so long for me that I do not remember. And that story has stuck with me for quite a while. And so, and in this process of domestication, we get hurt sometimes. There are painful experiences, and so we develop what Michael Singer refers to as samskaras, which serve as the energetic internalization of whatever this painful experience is, and also they act as blocks for that life force, that Shakti, that prana, whatever you want to call it, to move through. And so we all have our different experiences. And for example, like the examples that come to mind for me is like when we're dealing with religion, possibly some of the samskaras can be like developing a sense of shame or beginning to fear a God that we know is very loving, or just affecting just general self-esteem. Or when we're of age to go to school, it's like, well, children by nature, they're very energetic, and you just can't feed them with enough information and allow them to be too creative. They just want to create and go and learn and learn and learn. And so many times the school system they're in just doesn't have the ability or the capacity to keep these very intelligent, gifted children engaged and interested. And that is not the fault of the child. And some of them are lucky enough maybe to get into homeschooling or well, every child is gifted, so I hesitate to use this word, for a school that is for gifted children. So many of them, because they're not paying attention in class, because they're bored. There's nothing to keep them engaged. So they get labeled as ADHD or having a learning disability, and that is not the truth. And somehow there's and for many children, luckily for some children, they have some adult in their life, or an aunt and uncle, or someone who like will give them a little bit extra attention or give them more opportunities to create and express. But some of them don't. But it's not the fault of the school system. It's not the fault of the child. They're just being children. And the other thing I can speak to is like we do everybody, like again, like since birth, we're right away we're dealing with the medical system, unless you have a home birth, something like that. And with that one, it seems to be like I can speak to like what happens in the psychiatric system and mental health is like someone gets sent to a psychologist or a psychiatrist, and I understand this process is kind of falling out of favor, where they're given intelligence tests or psychological testing, and the person disappears. They become a diagnosis. And when this energy is trying to come through, and if there is a samskara there, it will come through often as like what we would call a symptom or an effect. And so much of this, again, like when originally how we learned how to manipulate the outside world, so much of that stays around in so many things. And in like psychiatry, unless someone is lucky enough to find a therapist or even a minister or a practitioner who is schooled in metaphysical principles, the treatment is like something from the outside. It's like, and right now, like the predominant thing is like medication. And at the very least, what they can do is maybe provide a little bit of temporary relief. And at worst, they can exacerbate the condition. But in any case, what's going on with this is they're dealing in the world of effect, these outer things, rather than like to me, like any of these symptoms is an invitation to go deeper, to go into cause, because there must be a cause for this. And often, like I said, unless they find somebody who's schooled in doing that kind of thing, cause just falls by the wayside. The person itself falls by the wayside. It's just a constellation of symptoms and a diagnosis. And to move beyond that, it's like, well, eventually each of us, even sometimes it may not happen until adulthood, develops the willingness and the ability to understand, to reason, and to question all of these things that were impressed upon them at such an early age when they didn't have that capacity. And then when they reach that point, then they are fully at choice as to whether they want to continue being part of this dream for the planet or to participate in this domestication. And for people who find their way into a New Thought center, they learn spiritual law. And then again, they also learn that then once again, they are at choice, that these spiritual laws are always ongoing. They are at choice to align with them. They are at choice to do their own inner work to release whatever is holding, whatever this condition, effect, or what is in place. But this law, as we know, I mean, it's very basic to us, that law just creates whatever is put into it. And if those beliefs are not released, and they are still going into the law, and it's just creating more and more of the same. So that's where the issue of healing comes in. And of course, like Reverend Bill said, healing is not fixing, changing, manipulating anything. Healing is revealing the truth, your true nature, and allowing that true nature to express. And in order to do that, that inner work has to be done. Those beliefs or whatever it is, those samskaras have to be resolved, or those beliefs need to be released. And once they are, everyone is free to live as who they truly are, what they were created to be this beautiful light of God. But it's necessary to do that inner work. But also there's another side to this too, like particularly with, I've seen in psychiatric conditions, if somebody's in, like if a woman is in an abusive relationship, or there are toxic relationships going on, or anything like that, it's like, of course, you're going to take practical action. You're going to get this woman to safety. And there are people that you're just going to have to say goodbye to and just release from your life. And then again, with all of that, it's like with the healing is what we do, rather than focusing on what we do not want to see. Our focus is on the feeling, this new feeling we are inviting in to replace this old belief we have released, is what we're inviting in. And again, that focus is not on the form, how it's going to come about. It is on the feeling itself. And just allowing that to unfold. And as that unfolds, and when all that internal work is done, there is absolutely nothing to hold anything that we would deem, quote, undesirable in place. There's nothing to support it whatsoever. And whatever you're putting into the law with a changed consciousness is going to bring that right back to you. And so we're responsible to do our work. And for me, like when I think about the resurrection, I don't really necessarily think about crucifixion, crosses, and all that stuff. What I think about is, it is, for lack of a better term, it's just dying to the old, or releasing the old, everything which no longer serves you, so you can fully embrace and experience your true nature. And in your true nature, you become aware that you are part of this oneness. You become aligned with your true nature, every aspect of yourself, with all of life, because all of life is one, and ultimately in your relationship with the divine. And to me, that is the resurrection. And this is the process of healing.
Thank you, Carolyn. Beautiful, beautiful. And as you're talking, I'm remembering that I spent most of fourth grade sitting in the hall because my teacher, whose name, honest to God, was Miss Lynch, couldn't handle me. And it turns out there wasn't really something wrong with me, because fifth grade was fabulous. And little things like that get to be the reminder. Yeah, we don't need to have a crucifixion up on the cross experience with an actual cross to go through that transformational experience of having the challenges, the difficulties, the problems in the world, and then go through that transformation to open up to a brand new possibility. There's something brewing inside of us that is new, that is wonderful. And Breen is going to lead us on a meditation as we explore that.
Thank you, Bill, and thank you, Carolyn. So much good stuff to think in, to think in. Yes, to take in and to think about, but to think in that inside job. It's not the outside, as Carolyn was saying. It's not, the world and the conditioning. It's that divine spark within each of us that is yearning to reveal itself. So we're going to take that idea into meditation. So I invite you to get still, get comfortable. Find it helps to sit with your back straight. If you're in a chair, put your feet flat on the floor. Maybe put your palms, your hands in your lap, palms up. And just relax. And we're going to take a series of 3 deep breaths. We're going to breathe in fully. We're going to hold for just a moment, feel a little tension build. Then exhale fully. And feel that tension release. With every exhale, relax even more. So breathe in deeply. Hold. And exhale. Feel that tension release as you exhale and feel yourself relax. Another deep breath in, breathing in fully. Hold. And exhale. Feel yourself relax even more. One more deep breath in. Hold. Hold just a moment longer. Feel that tension. And exhale. Feel yourself relax even more. Allow your breath to find a gentle, even pace. Whatever's comfortable for you. And open yourself. Open your heart. Open your mind to that divine spark within. The truth is, you are a bright light of divine love, expressing into the world in unique and wonderful ways. There may be some area of your life where you're not aware of that. The experience of your life is maybe appears different from that. Could be in your work, in your creative expression in the world, in your physical body, in your relationships. In your finances. Or in your spiritual practice. Maybe some area where spirit is seeking to express new and different ways. Just open to that. Accept the guidance. As we heard in the reading, I accept divine guidance. How is spirit seeking to express through you. Don't think about where you aren't. Focus on where you're going. And how will it feel? When you let go of those old beliefs and old ideas and that old conditioning and open to that expression of spirit. I accept divine guidance. I accept divine guidance. We'll take that into the silence. I accept divine guidance. I accept divine guidance. In this moment, in this next experience of our celebration, we're going to light a candle. It's a representation of this new intention, this new expression of spirit. Candle itself has no power. It's not magical. It's just a representation of that divine light shining. So I invite you now, if you have a candle with you, when you're ready to set that intention for that new experience, to light that candle. And if you don't have a candle with you, you've got the candle can. Bill will be lighting candles. You can choose one of those candles. To represent that new intention, that new experience of spirit in your life. Well, Ginger sings us another song.
Welcome back, Joe.
Okay. So, open ourselves to source, open that connection and use it, see it, accept it, allow it. Roll away the stones that are in our path. Fear, doubt, ego, separation, and see with the eyes of love and oneness. See the love, see the faith, see the connections, the heart, and the oneness. Allow yourself to be resurrected. Claim your freedom and your truth. That source that is all life, all good, flows through each one of us. There for our use and our taking. Open to it. Today we celebrate rising above, rising over, renewal. And our intentions symbolize and feed into all of that. It is all available. So for each person's intention or intentions, for their willingness and their love and their connection, I claim it. I allow it. I accept it. And with gratitude, I take all of these intentions, all of this good, knowing that it is made so. Because we have that connection with Source to do it, to have it, to be it. So with gratitude, I release my word to the law that always says yes. And it never comes back void. And so it is. And I think now we'll transition to another song from Ginger.
Don't you know love is all around you, surrounding you with all you ever need to realize your dream. Can't you see love is here to ground you, to astound you, and it's just a breath away. Oh, it's just a breath away. God is your eternal life, and there's just this life, and it takes my breath away. God is just a breath away. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, yeah. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, yeah.
Thank you, Ginger, for channeling Lou Doty that way. Wonderful. So we've been lighting some candles and setting some intentions and letting go of some oldness and inviting in some newness. And if you'd like to give some voice to that, to take a stand for whatever that newness is that you're inviting in, this is an opportunity. This is the wisdom share. This is where the posse is the preacher, because we have some ideas, but the ways those ideas are unfolding are in each of us. So if you got something that you'd like to share with the group, go ahead, raise your hand or use your digital reaction button hand raise and get a chance to share what's going on for you this fifth Sunday Easter. All of these symbols for Easter are also, by coincidence, the symbols of fertility, the pagan spring rituals. So this is a time for eggs and for bunnies and for new seed plantings and for flowers blossoming. So there's wonderful, wonderful stuff that's going on, not just for us, but as us. Go ahead, Ginger.
As always, it's a pleasure to be here with you all. And I have so many new things that I'm planting right now. And for me, this service was very helpful. I loved the meditation, Breen. Thank you for that. It really took me to a great place. Yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm grateful. I'm just so grateful for this community, and I'm grateful for this Easter service because it is a new. Absolutely, it's a fertile time, and I feel that so deeply right now in my life. So thank you for allowing me to be here.
Thank you, as always. And just as a reminder, a little bit of a plug, Ginger is about 2/3 of the way through year one of practitioner training, which is the deep dive into spiritual growth. You know, a lot of times we talk about planting seeds and things blossom, and practitioner training kind of turns it into a fireworks display because the stuff comes up and it's spectacular.
Yeah,
Bright
but
lights.
but
And
let's
so,
not forget about all the cutting away and the revealing of truth and the things that we're shedding
oh yeah, there's a bit
in
of a
this.
process there. That's absolutely true.
Whoa, these first two terms have been absolutely emotionally charged, transformational. uh Take the practitioner class is all I can say. Is when it comes up in the fall here, everybody, if you're thinking about going deeper, just go deeper.
Thank you.
Run towards the fire.
Yeah, if you think you know who you are, take practitioner one. There you go. Well, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and invite Jane to lead us in the offering.
Okay. New Thought Philadelphia is all about spreading the love. Our community is supported by your contributions. The gift you share helps fund our work in the world, and the way you shine your light spreads the love. We are grateful for every way you share. We don't have a basket today, but there's a donate button on the website to make a donation by credit card, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, and you can also mail a check to our office in Ardmore. The offering affirmation is on screen. We'll say the affirmation together. I live in
an
an
abundant
universe.
universe.
I am
I
one
am
with
one
the
with
source
the
of all
infinite
good.
source of all good.
good.
I am a
I
center of
am a
center of
center of
conscious
conscious
prosperity.
prosperity.
I enjoy the
enjoy
richness
the
of
Enjoy the
richness
richness
of
of
life.
life.
I
I bless
my
my
gift.
My
gift.
gift.
I
share my
my
gift
gift,
of gratitude and joy.
and joy.
I
I
know that
know
as I
that
give,
as
As I give,
I
I
do
do
receive, so it is.
receive, and so it
So it
is.
And
is.
so it is. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jane and Ginger. One more.
One more. There was a time in my life thought I had to do it all by myself. Didn't know the love of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. And now I can say, if you're feeling discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you just gotta let it go. Gotta let it go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggles, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I am only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I am only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
I release and I let go. Thank you, Ginger. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to the Practitioner Core for the healing celebration today, for the words, for the music, for the ideas, for the inspiration, for the prayers, for the meditation. Absolutely wonderful. A fabulous way to spend Easter. So let us close by making another raucous noise. Go ahead and unmute and repeat after me. I am blossoming.
I am
I am
blossoming.
Blossoming.
I let go of what's old.
I let go of what's
What's
old.
old.
I step into what's new.
I
I
step
step
into
into
what's
what's
new.
New.
I am guided in love.
I
I
am
am
guided in
Guided in
love.
love.
And so it is.
So
So
it
it
So
is.
it is.
Woo.
Woo.
Thank you.
Yay.